Hi, welcome to the channel, Budget Audio Review and Upgrades. Today we're reviewing this Mordaunt 25Ti speaker, made in around 1987, I think 86, somewhere around there anyway. They've done a range of these, the 25s TIs, the 35 TIs, the 45 TIs and the 55 TIs. I've got a few more of them to put up in upcoming videos. I'll do that as soon as possible and actually listen to the others that I've got in that range. But today we're going to start off with this 25 Ti, the smallest. I'm not too sure how much that would have been. I know the top of the range one, the 55 Ti, was about £300 back then. So I'm guessing this would have been just over £100, I should imagine, somewhere around there. Before I go into that too much, I just want to say that I do sell some stuff on eBay here and there. And I've had quite a few inquiries for, obviously I'll get this stuff. I can't keep it all. The house ain't big enough. If it was, honestly, I would. But I can't. And obviously I've got to sell some of it on to keep the channel flowing. Don't really make any profit out of anything. In fact, I make a loss. So at the moment I'm at a loss place. But I like doing it and getting quite a few videos up. And at some day, maybe I can turn it around. I don't know anyway. More of an hobby really. But before I talk about this speaker, I do put speakers up there, and I do cash on collection, pick up only. Not this is a really small pair of speakers. I'm talking about teeny ones. Other than that, I only do pick up only. I do apologise for that. People have been asking me to send it off, and they're willing to pay this and that and the other. It's just not feasible, really. I'll be honest with you. I will do a video. I'll keep saying this about me buying speakers and other stuff on eBay, but mainly speakers, not turning up. When I do get them, they're broke and stuff like that. All these couriers just throw stuff about. I've got mates that work with couriers, and I've seen them do it. I had a fruit machine here delivered once. You won't believe the state I got it in, and I see the geezer just literally throw it off the side of the van, literally. So yeah, it's not worth my hassle, honestly. You can't just put a bit of bubble wrap or stick it in a box. It doesn't work like that. You've got to wrap it up really well, because like I say, the weight of them, they get thrown around, etc. And they do get broke. And lo and behold, these ones I bought off of eBay. I do like going and pick them up, really. That's the idea for me, to go and pick them up. But these ones, they're a bit on the big side when you get two of them together, quite a big parcel. And they arrive broke anyway. So anyway, but they work, for testing purposes, they work. This speaker was fine. But the other one took a whack on the corner. This split here, this bit here split where it obviously got knocked somewhere or whatever, and these like lug hole things are snapped off in this actual case kind of thing, in this kind of like front grille, should I say? They're snapped off in there. When the bloke actually sent them, obviously they was loose like this. They would just pull off, and the lugs would still be here, and now they're kind of stuck in there. Where there's it's two holes normally. So this one come okay, but afraid one of them out of the two actually broke and had a big chunk taken out the corner as well. And of course some of these speakers, this plastic over a period of time does get brittle. The older this plastic gets, the brittle it gets. So it only takes a slight knock, or anything like that, and it's going to get thrown about. Trust me, it doesn't matter what courier you go with, they sling them about. They just haven't got the time to pass them to each other and all that. It's just a mad rush, it really is. Hundreds of parcels to deliver a day. They're from 7 o'clock in the morning to 9 o'clock at night, delivering non-stop. Okay, so this is the speaker I'm reviewing today. Like I say, this is the Mordaunt 25Tis. Right, let's get the speaker on the floor, and as you can see there, I've got the two drivers out there on the floor. And the main driver is a 7.5-inch paper cone driver, and it's made here in the UK, while the tweeter is a 3/4-inch titanium dome tweeter, and that's made in West Germany. I didn't get the crossover out because it was tucked in there with all the padding and everything. As you can see, it's quite a lot of padding in there as well, and I didn't want to start ripping through that. But there's various pictures on the internet of the actual crossover there. Bolts on the driver, so you can really get the driver in nice and tight there with the bolts. And there's screws, and they're quite big screws on the tweeter holding that in. And there's the rear there, and as you can see, it's a 6-ohm speaker. It recommends 15 centimetres from the rear wall, obviously a bit more in the room, or away from the wall, should I say, if you've got it stuck in a corner. It's auto overload protected as well, so yeah, little thermal device there, I think heats up as this gets too loud and you're overloading it, and cuts the volume down so you don't blow the speakers. Right, as normal, I'm going to go over a normal overview of this speaker. First of all, it's the frequency response is 70 Hz to 20 kHz. Sensitivity is 87 dB, maybe a bit low for some people, may sound a bit low, but I've actually run this on the 8 and 10 watt amplifier and it drove it fine. I mean, I'm talking about old amplifiers here, but it drove it fine, no problem at all. These are 6 ohms, a sealed unit, 75 to 100 watts is the power rating. It has got an overload protection, like I say, so you know, you're fine there, but you're not going to use anything more powerful than that on it, that's for certain. Weighs 7 kilos, and just the quick dimensions, it's 40 centimetres high by 24 centimetres in width, 23 centimetres in depth. So that's the speaker pretty wrapped up there. Now, I have this in a multitude of positions as normal. I used to put speakers on the back shelf, but it's high and I don't bother with that anymore. So what I'm doing now is just having on this desk here. It's away from the wall in the middle of the room kind of thing. Got it on a side unit over there, and I've got it on speaker stands here. And also get up a bit close and personal over in my little computer room, repair room, whatever you want to call it. So I'm pretty much bang on it there, to be honest with you. So it gives me a general kind of feel, idea how this speaker sounds. Like I say, I use quite a few different amplifiers, my turntable and my CD player, and listen to a varied amount of music. Though I must admit, I don't really listen to much classical or jazz. I know a couple of people come on and ask me questions about that. So don't really listen to that really, to be honest with you. It's more like rock, 70s, 80s, current stuff, obviously, all different bits and pieces. So yeah, if, you know, classical and jazz, maybe, you know, I can't really comment too much on that. But anyway, let's get on to the sound. Now, first of all, you know, it's got a big driver here for the speaker. It's taken up quite a bit of the speaker here, this 7.5 inch paper cone driver. And the first thing I noticed really that it's a little bit bass shy, to be honest with you. I could just add a little bit more bass to it, just a tad more bass. It was a kind of mid-range sounding speaker, to be honest with you. Even though it's a neutral sound, I thought the sound was quite neutral. It did sound a little bit mid-rangey because of the lack of the bass there. I mean, what bass is there? And there is some bass there, don't get me wrong. It's a tight bass, and obviously the more you turn the amplifier up does help its cause. And I've attempted a few times, which I did do, is go over and turn the bass control up 1 or 2 notches. Now when I do these, I normally have the bass and treble on 0. That's how I calculate all my kind of listening experiences on these speakers. But you know, I went over there and I attempted to turn it up 1 or 2 notches, probably 2 to be honest with you, to get a bit more oomph to it. But it's a tight bass. It's a very tight bass on here. So you know, it's a boom and that's it kind of thing. So if you like a bit more of a rounded kind of bass, then maybe this is not the speaker for you. A little bit more, like I say, a little bit mid-rangey, but the vocals sounded nice. You know what I mean? It's a mid-rangey speaker, so obviously it suited the vocals, man and female. You know, the piano playing, the guitars, you know, the strings and that sounded nice on this speaker. Sounded nice and smooth. Sounded nice and clear. The treble was just a tad treble shy, just a tad. You know, I'm picking a bit maybe, but it's just a tad treble shy. I just wanted a tad more treble really. I listened to that for all these like little twinkles, all these little like sprinkles going off in the, you know, tapping on the cymbals with the brushes and all that kind of thing, shimmering, all that kind of stuff I listened out for. And it sounded nice on this speaker, you know what I mean? It did sound okay, no problem with that at all, but just wanted a tad more. So again, you're trying to tempt you to go over there and just turn that treble up just a tad, just to bring out a little bit more and lift it up a bit. But all in all, and it's quite a nice sounding speaker. I did find, you know, you do find this with this neutral sinus sounding speakers. I did find that it could sound a little bit hollow at times, you know, just a little bit hollow. The drums could sound a little bit hollow maybe at times, you know what I mean. But then again, like I say, just turning that bass up did help that. But it's just, you know, on a few tracks, a few bits and pieces, it did sound a little bit on the hollow side. But like I said, I cranked it up, and the more I cranked this speaker up, the better it sounded, to be honest with you. Like, you know what I mean, started cranking the whole volume up, did get more out of it. So yeah, all in all, quite a pleasurable speaker, quite a focused sounding speaker. You know, it's quite focused, the speaker. It was quite a big sounding speaker as well. You know what I mean? You know, it's quite a fair sized cabinet really for a bookshelf, and it's quite a big sound to the speaker. The sound stage wasn't really that wide, to be honest with you. It wasn't a massive sound stage, but it was okay. The sound stage was okay. You know, all in all, quite a good little speaker, or medium kind of, medium-sized speaker, so to speak. You're not going to pay a lot for this on eBay. I mean, here in the UK, these probably go for about £30 or £40. You know, I don't know what it's going to equivalent, you know, over the US and Canada and places like that. You may have to pay a little bit more because they're maybe not, you know, so popular, you know, not so popular, a bit more scarcer over in them countries as this is made in the UK. But you know, you want, you know, pay $50, something like that, you're going to still get a fairly good speaker there, I think, you know what I mean. You know, I definitely recommend it. I've got the 35s in this and the 55s. I've only both, you know, picked them both up recently. I've really just plugged them in basically and just made sure they work. So I can't comment on how it actually sounds against them. But I will do a review on both of them at some stage, and then bring all 3 of them together maybe and give an opinion of all 3 of them. But you'll get some more of an idea of how they sound maybe compared to this. But for the time being, this is the 25 Ti, don't forget, made about 1987, thereabouts, 86 I think. I think it would have retailed for about £120 back then, something like that. And if you're going to pick up a pair today, I definitely recommend them, that's for certain. But just bear in mind that they're a little bit on the mid-rangey side kind of thing, sound-wise, just a little bit. If you want some deep bass or something like that, you may be a little bit disappointed if you want some really deep bass. And that probably tells you there where it says 70 hertz, where it kind of kicks in, kind of thing. Okay, I'll say thanks for watching. Until the next video, I'll see you all soon.